It's the grandson of Right Thought. Welcome to the School of Marvelous Light. Before I start this message, you guys see where I'm at, right? One of the things that is a blessing to the free man is being in an environment like this, what we call nature, natural, man's natural environment. When you're in bondage, you're restricted to an artificial environment. That's an unnatural environment for man to be in, which is under artificial lights instead of under the light of the sun. In between four walls, usually painted, instead of amongst the natural paint of the leaves and the flowers, the sky. The free man has a different environment than the bondman. And you see that his environment is what's natural to him. The bondman is in an artificial environment. So those who be in bondage today are those who are living in an artificial environment. You see? Like the movie The Matrix says, it's not your natural environment. And the reason why it's not your natural environment that you're living in is because you're not being who you are. You see that? Because if you were being who you are, then the environment that matches you would manifest around you. Do you see that? But boy, when we live that artificial life, we end up in an artificial environment. We end up in an artificial marriage. We end up in an artificial friendship. We end up around artificial coworkers. And those are the things that Yahusha said he came to separate you from. Because many people think he come to send peace, but he says, think not that I come to send peace, but rather a sword of division. And he tells you exactly who he divides, fathers and sons. One will be grinding at the mill, the one will be taken, the other will be left. I mean, two shall be grinding at the mill, one will be taken, the other left. Co-workers. You see? One will be elected. Just like the fisherman, just like the tax collector. You see? So it is this day. There were tax collectors and fishermen or auto workers, oil rig workers, military personnel, government officials, lawyers, doctors that were called. Two physicians stood there looking at a chart, but one was called away. He had to return to his natural environment of what he truly is, a plain man who just sets up a tent. A tent is temporary. You understand that, little flock? A tent is a temporary stay. It doesn't represent permanence. But in the world, artificial world that you live in, everything is built to seemingly be permanent. Oh, it's going to last. It's going to stand the test of time. Man in his pride always says that. But Abba talked about this world, and he talked about their pride, how it deceived them. And in their building, that they said, we shall build, and we shall build, even though Abba says he will throw it down again. If you can see it, it's temporal. So you're building that with your hands, it's going to fall. But then we'll build it up and we'll build it greater. We'll make it great again. That's Esau's problem. Just read the Bible. You'll see it in there. He keeps thinking he can ascend and be great. Without the help of Abba, you are nothing. You have nothing and you are nothing if you don't have love. See that today? If you speak in tongues, if you have faith and can move mountains, if you give all of your goods to the poor, even if you give your body to be burned and have not charity, which is love, then you have nothing. You've done nothing. A lot of people give things, see, in the artificial world, they artificially give. They give and they have cameras around to document the giving so that they can show men, see what I've done? Because you don't need a camera to show God what you've done, do you? Scripture says he sees in a secret place. So then if he sees in a secret place, then I don't need a camera to broadcast. You understand the word broad? What did Yahusha say about that path? Many be that go therein, but that way leads to destruction. Is that not what he said? Mm-hmm. But they want to broadcast what they do. That's leading to their destruction. They don't even know it because they think they're doing some good deed and men will praise them. The praise of men is a level of glory that you're going to attain, but the praise of God exceeds that glory. So why be a fool and take the lesser glory? Why? While claiming you want to be great. You see that? So we see in this world of artificial that people focused on what they can see, or as Christ says, ye judge by the flesh. So all of the little flock, did you hear that just now, what I just told you? The people in the artificial world judge by the flesh. Now, when you go to the artificial world, the people around you, do they judge by the flesh? Do they judge whether you have a good wife based on how good she looks, how sexy she is? Do they judge you're successful based off of the kind of car you pulled up to the job in? Do they think success is your credit score? Do they pay attention to how one is dressed and how one is adorned and attired? Are they focused on name brands? Do they have to have the latest gadget or one that's functional and that works? Or do they have to have the latest, most expensive, the newest things that come out? Do they have to have those things and do they clamor after it and talk about it? See how this is going, little flock? That's the artificial environment. That's the ones Yahusha said, you judge after the flesh. But I judge no man. You see, I don't judge by the seeing of my eyes or the hearing of my ears. It's not how I judge. I judge the heart. I don't judge men. Ooh, 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 ooh. That's righteous judgment. Because what does God judge? See what I'm saying, little flock? And then what do Yahusha say? Judge righteous judgment. So that means it's possible for you to do it. But if you didn't know that it's a matter of the heart, then you don't know how to judge properly. You're too busy looking on the outside in the artificial world. But in the natural world, we can see what's real. You see that? You can see what's hidden among the artificiality. You see that there, little flock? And so you go there, or as the scripture says, you go into the wilderness, see, and dwell in tents as you travel until you reach that good land that you faithfully hope for. Isn't that right, little flock? So the message, blessing the name of the Father, You hear that, little flock? Blessing the name of the Father. Before you go in and before you go out, it would be wise that you bless the Father's name because that's what he told you to do. And matter of fact, that's what he said Israel has forgotten. So, little flock, did you hear that? Artificial world is a world of fear. It's the old world that passes away. What did we talk about yesterday about the old? The old represents flesh. As Christ said, ye judge after the flesh. See how it all connects like Legos every time? So the old world is fleshly, carnal, right? It's condemnation. It kills. You see that there? It's stony, which means hard-hearted. You see? His laws cannot be wrote upon it because your heart is too hard. But in the new, you have given a new heart that he wrote his commands on. See? And that's the spirit, and that's life, and that's peace. So when you're in the old world, you're not blessing the name because you're under condemnation. You're in sin when you're in the artificial world. Think about when you go to the artificial place you go to. Most people are like, oh man, when they wake up in the morning. Oh, geez, not another day of this crap again. See that? That's how I was when I was in the old world. It started off all good and happy because I was making what I thought was good money and able to take care of my family and had security, I believed. You see? But it was a false sense of security. See that there? That's what artificial means, false. It's not real. If it were, then it wouldn't pass away. In place of a new world. What does he say about the old world? Come out of it. Be ye separate from it, that you be not partaker of her plagues. So Israel was in a world called Egypt. And they were taken out of Egypt and brought into a new world of their own. So if he did that then, and then he says, I will extend my hand the second time, then he's going to do it again. Well, the first time he did it, what did he say his name was? I am. So it's not going to be the same time, the same this time? When he delivers his remnant, it won't be the same? Oh, yes, it will. So that's why I say bless his name. Because it's all about blessing and cursing. What did he say about the mouth and the tongue? Blessing and cursing both come out from that mouth. These things should not be so. You have to actually know what bless and curse is. Well, remember, there are two worlds. So bless and curse isn't the same thing in the two worlds. Sorry, y'all. I walked through a spider web and it's all in my hair and on my arm. Trying to distract me. A little spider, go make your house somewhere else, man. I guess it's part of nature, huh? So you see, it's two worlds. So then blessing and cursing is artificial in the fake world. See, it's fake. So what they say blessing and cursing is fake. Blessing in the old world is actually flattery and smooth speech. You see, feel good speaking. You know what the Bible says about that stuff. Friends don't speak flattery to one another. They actually just tell each other the truth. That's what makes them a friend. They don't lie. Why? Do you want a friend who lies? So then when you ask him a question and the answer sucks, even though it's the truth about you, you're deficient in some way and your friend tells you that. And it hurts when he says it. Like the scripture says, the wounds of a friend are faithful. See? But the words of a deceitful man are what? The words are deceitful of one who speaks flattery. That means he's tricking you by speaking that way. That's what it means. So it's artificial in that world, blessing you in that world. See that there? So then you have to know the true way to be blessing. And how do you do that? You get translated into the new. As Christ said, you become a new wineskin, and then he starts to pour the new wine in you. But if you're an old wineskin, you can't receive what I'm about to say about blessing and cursing. See? Because it's new. It's just that simple. So then let's just say cursing, for example. In the old world, they say fuck, damn, bitch, motherfucker, slut, hoe, whatever. Words like that are curse words. That's what the old world told you. That's actually a deception. That's deceiving you. See, now the old wine skins can't receive what I'm about to say. That's simple. They still think that that's cursing. I'm going to tell you what the new wine is. Cursing is, I am sick. You are sick. You are unhealthy. You're dying. I am dying. I'm stupid. You're stupid. That's cursing. Now you need to tell me that what I say cursing is not. But can you? No. So see what I'm telling you? I'm telling you the truth of what a curse is. Because Abba says if you don't bless his name, you will fall under a curse. If you don't keep the commands, he said, read Deuteronomy 28, you shall be blessed if you do, and if you don't, you shall be cursed. What are his commandments? Love God with all your heart, your mind, and your soul. I am. So how do you speak about I am when you speak? That'll prove whether you're loving God with all your heart, your mind, and your soul. And also it will prove that you actually know who God is and you know God. Yahushua said the Israelites thought they did, but didn't. So you think it's different today? Nope, it's the same. A lot of Israelites think they know God, but they prove they don't by not even knowing his name and not even knowing how to bless his name. Because I can give you old artificial ways that people bless his name. Thank you, God. Thank you, Lord. Thank you. See? That's the old way. This is the new way. I am safe. I am blessed. I am healthy. I am strong. I am radiantly beautiful. I am maximizing my potential. I am walking in the perfection of who I am. Heavy duty words there. That's blessing. So do you see how there's a difference between the two worlds? I'm making it clear to you that it is. Now you have to decide what wine you're willing to drink, the old or the new. You have to decide that. It's up to you because choose this day who you will serve, life or death. That's what he said. That's a blessing or a curse, just like Deuteronomy 28 said. Life and death is before you. So if you love me by blessing me when you speak, then what? People say, don't take the Lord's name in vain. His name means to exist. So that means literally, do not take your being in lies. How do you take your being in lies? I just described it to you. Your being is I am, correct? Can this be disputed? Now, your being, doesn't it match the name the Father said that is his name? That's why he said, don't take it in vain. Now, do you understand it? So when you get the clouds out of your mind that have been deceiving you, that this flesh and blood body is who you are when you say I am. You think that's who I am is, that flesh and blood body. That's why people decorate it so heavily, that believe that old wine. That's why they paint it up, because they believe that that's them. They don't think that's their tent. They don't know that that's the temple. They think it's them. Just as the Spirit of God dwelt in the temple that Solomon built and came in there, the temple was not God. Just like when Yahushua said, destroy this temple and in 3 days I will rebuild it, they thought he spoke of the temple that was built with bricks. So it's always the same. The old cannot receive the new. He spoke of the temple of his body. See, the new wineskins can understand that because they actually know what a tent is. They actually know what a tabernacle is. They actually know what a temple is. It's the body. And the spirit is in you unless you be reprobate. See, unless you be a reprobate mind and can't receive this truth, you be an old wineskin and you burst when you hear these new things because it causes you to have to let go of the old and you're not willing to. So like I told you about cursing, if you think fit, fuck, bitch, damn is cuss words and have always been since the beginning of time, if you believe that, which that's not the case, but if you believe that, then when you hear the new truth of it that you can't deny is what a curse is, what do you do with the old? It goes away. It is put away. Isn't that what we read about yesterday? The old has to go away so that the new can come in. Like Christ said about the wineskin. You can't take the old wineskin and do anything else with it. So you got to cast it away. The wineskin is your mind. The old mind of the carnal mind has to be cast out of the throne room of the temple because he's been ruling from there. And the carnal mind is a beast. So carnally minded people have no problem going after the beast and worshiping the beast because they're fleshly minded. So they're caught up in what they see outwardly. Well, what did Christ tell you about the coming of the kingdom? So those who will be deceived with what? What's the thing that will deceive them? Outward appearance of the coming of the kingdom. That will deceive them. But the master said, the kingdom of heaven cometh not with outward observation. It's just that simple. See? So since this body is the temple, then everything that's important is going down inside of it. That's right. That's right. The Holy of Holies is on the inside of the temple or on the outside of it. Where does the presence of God come when it comes into the temple? Into the Holy of Holies? The mercy seat there? All right then. So there's no discrepancies here about where the power is and where the strength is. This is why I say bless the name of the Father today before you do anything that you do. Because in order to do something, watch this little fly. In order for something to be done, what must be first? There must be one who exists. Correct? So then what comes first before anything else exists? I am does. Existence must be before anything else can come. That's God. So then when you exist, right? You're existing, right? Then you're taking the Father's name. You're breathing. What is the spirit called? It's called a breath. See there? What makes you a living soul? Same thing that happened to Adam in the garden, right? Okay, then. So there be a second Adam. And that second Adam came a quickening spirit. So then there's a new generation. There's a new bloodline. And it's Yahusha's. Don't you see why I'm called the grandson now? Doesn't it make sense or what, guys? I am the first fruit of a new creation. That's why I speak the things that I speak. There are two who bear witness of me and the Father. It's that simple. Because how does the Father bear witness? By the words that I'm speaking to you. I cannot make these things up. I cannot come up with these things on my own to say to you because they don't come from me. They come from the source. The source is love, which is God. He is lovingly bringing his children back into the knowledge of their true identities because have their identities been stripped? Now, any person from any nation, if you want to know an example of this, look at the Negroes on the earth. Just take a look at them as a people. Are they scattered to the four corners? In other words, are there Negroes all over the earth? Do they speak all types of different languages, even though they're one nation of people? So that means they forgot who they were. Are they called by misnomers? See how they're a great example of what it means to lose your identity? Now, if God's name is I am, then the people who lost their identity are God's people. Because God said, I will remove my presence from you. I will go and return to my place until you repent. If he's I am, that means your identity will depart from you for a time. And then you will fall into slavery because you're subject to the artificial world now is going to tell you who you are. The world of Esau. See? Just so happens to be the people that have a perpetual hatred for Israel. If you have a perpetual hatred, then you will continuously lie, continuously hate, slander, cheat, defraud, extort, won't you? But what happens when their identity returns to them? Read the Bible. It'll tell you what happens. They stand on their feet, an exceedingly great army, because they were a valley of dry bones. And if anybody says that wasn't a nation of people, the Bible told you that the valley of dry bones was indeed the nation of Israel. This valley of dry bones you see, son of man, is the whole house of Israel. An identityless people. See that, little flock? But now prophesy unto them and speak unto them, son of man, and give them their identity back. That's what's happening right now. Bless the name of I am, brothers and sisters. No longer take it in a lie. No longer let the artificial world tell you what things are. I'm not. See what I mean about the first fruits of a new creation? And see how the Father is the one who justifies it? You have the new wine in you. That will prove that you're a new wine skin. That'll prove it because you speak new wine. That means you had to have it poured into you. And I can bear witness that I did have it poured into me. See that there? And the Father also bears witness that I had it poured into me. And I spoke with tongues the day that it was poured into me as well. Uncontrollably. It was outside of my control, involuntary. I spoke in tongues. And so the word confirms that moment openly. That happened secretly. Nobody was in the room but me and the Father. But he rewarded me openly by the words that I continuously speak to you. I never run out. The well never runs dry. My belly never is empty. It always is flowing the living waters of the word. You see what I'm saying, little flock? And so will you when you become a new wineskin, because that's all he's waiting for, so that he can pour the new in. But you got to let go of the old. You can't be holding on to the old, still thinking old artificial ways. Woe unto them that call evil good and put darkness for light. Woe unto them. So that means people are doing it. That artificial world you've been living in has tricked you. That's why Abba says, come out of it. Be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind. So you can't be thinking the same things and then be transformed. You can't. But people that tell you what sin is, all of this fleshly ideals of what sin is, then they say they are transformed and born again, and they have the same fleshly ideas. How is your mind transformed if it's the same? I used to think cussing was bad because I was raised to be taught that. My parents raised me with that idea. Don't speak that way. Don't cuss. Say yes, ma'am, when an older lady speaks to you. Say yes, sir, when an older gentleman speaks to you. My cousins and everybody used to laugh because when adults would speak to me, I would say, yes, ma'am, yes, sir. They would laugh. Why are you speaking so proper? Why are you talking like that? I've always been blazed by the artificial world about the way that I speak. I used to take it personal back when I was in ignorance. But then I realized Moses there said the same thing after I was transformed. I said, wow, this is a natural inclination for a servant of Abba to think of himself. Someone who honors Abba's word knows that it should come forth perfectly. It should be handled accordingly to the perfection that it is. You see that? So someone who's a perfectionist that way will never think that he's doing it good enough. Well, that's he who leans on his own understanding. And you see that all through the scriptures, that the servant doesn't feel worthy. He doesn't feel capable for the job. You see it over and over and over again. But Abba is who makes him capable. In your infirmity, his strength is shown in you. That's right, because his name will prevail over your fleshly infirmity. Whatever it is that you think is holding you back, his name will carry you through it. That's what I'm here to tell the little flock of Israel. You don't have to listen to anybody else or go to anybody else for the relief you seek. If you did, he would not have told you where the kingdom of heaven was. He would have told you it was outside of you. It was in Rome. Go there and you'll find the rest that you're looking for. Go here, go here. He didn't say go anywhere. He said come. So when it comes to yourself and going inside of yourself, you have to come inside. You don't have to go anywhere outside. Come in and sup with me. I'm knocking at the door of your heart. Open up to me so I can come and speak to you and give you the right thoughts that you need to get out of your ordeal. I'll give you rest for the stress because it's your soul that's under stress. It's your soul where your seat of feelings is, where you just don't feel good about the life. It's stressful. You're sad. You're crying when you get up to do what you have to do every day, and you feel compelled to have to do it. That's the artificial mind. That's slavery. That's how slaves felt on the plantation. And because they felt it, now the whole world is under that crippling damn blow. And they will not accept it and say, wait a minute, Israel was our example. Those Negroes were our example of what happens when you turn away from I am. When you start to believe that 3D things are what a blessing is. And any 3D thing is that I am, that's an idol then, isn't it? Isn't it easy to see, little flock, that if you look outside of yourself for salvation, then you're looking to an idol? He said he came to make the Father known, and he has made it known. If he didn't, then I wouldn't be telling you what I'm telling you. I couldn't tell you what I'm telling you if he had not revealed it, but he did reveal it to me, and so I'm telling it to you. He said this was going to happen. He said it, not me. That's why I said he's the other witness. You see that there? So think it not strange when prophecy be fulfilled. Why do you think it was spoken? Y'all think prophecy was spoken for it never to be fulfilled? And you never thought it was possible that some of those prophecies just might be fulfilled in your generation and in your lifetime? Well, then you're faithless and perverse generation, always seeking for a sign. See that there? Instead of having faith in what the prophecies told you would happen. I am. That's the name you should bless today. Not some other name that exists outside of I am, because I am will take you out. Any other name will take you outside of yourself, correct? What exists? That's actually what you're saying today. What does exist? I'm asking you. If you can see it, it's temporal. So what exists? But if it's invisible, it's eternal. So then what truly exists? Being exists. Even if you're not in that body, that's what the fleshly mind is trying to keep you constrained into believing. Death. You'll die if that body stops. No, I won't, because I'm not the body. As a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. He's not the body. The heart is the holy of holies inside of your body, where the throne of I am is, because that's his name, who sits upon the throne, the Ancient of Days. Everybody who has ever existed has I am'd. Everyone. See that there? And they do it ignorantly. That's why Yahushua said, forgive them, because they don't know they're taking your name in vain. Once you actually are translated into a new wineskin and given the new wine, then you can see how you have been deceived. You can actually see it. You can actually see it. Damn, every other thing other than I am that I was searching after searching for God took me outside of myself. It caused me to pray to something outside of myself. It caused me to look to salvation to come to me some type of magical way through this prayer I'm giving out. Instead of, Moses, what is in your hand? Why do you cry unto me? What's in your hand? I have the authority to do it? Yes. So then take my name in truth and show the authority of it. That's all it means, because that's what he told Moses. I am. Hath sent me unto you, children of Israel. So then when Yahushua said, I am not sent, but unto the lost sheep of the house of Israel, who sent him? Yeah. See how I'm shutting their asses down? Y'all can't deny it. You see how I'm shutting all the lies down? If Moses came to Israel only, see, just like Yahushua, if he came to Israel to deliver them out of their slavery, which is what Yahushua said he came to do, it's no difference. So if Moses said he came to do that, and then he said, I am hath sent me to you, Israel. So Yahushua said, I come to make the Father known. I come to reveal the Father, because they don't know him. So I come to reveal him. Did Moses come to reveal the Father to the children of Israel because they didn't know him? That's the same thing. See how it's connecting like Legos here? So then when the branch comes, will he come in any other different way that Moses or Yahushua came? Or will he come in the same name? Because they forgot that name and they cast that name out for idols. And the Israelites are doing it to this day. They're not all in one accord under the name of I am. I don't know why not. Because that's where power is, Israelites. Y'all still want to be rebellious? Y'all still want to stay outside of that, hoping that there's power outside of yourself? Haven't you proved enough that it isn't? Babylon didn't prove it to you, that if you search outside of yourself, you'll just end up in slavery? Persia didn't prove it to you. When you search outside of yourself for salvation, you end up enslaved. The Assyrian bondage didn't prove that to you either. The Egyptian bondage didn't prove it to you, huh? The Roman bondage didn't do it either. And the American bondage isn't going to do it now? That ain't enough bondage to prove that you keep running to what look good? On the whole earth, what nation looks the best? To somebody looking for a chance at a great life. The American dream. See how it goes, little flock? America looks like a beacon of light on a hill, a city of salvation that will save, but it actually enslaves. Isn't it true? Talking about home of the brave. No, home of the slave. And so since people think, oh, I'm not chained up, but you're a debt slave, you come here with a social security number as soon as you're born. They stamp your ass on your foot. Clink. Let's get some money off this guy. Get your ass in there and get some labor. Get on to the field, buddy. Get to the field. You think because you walked into a law office with a nice suit and hair gel, you thought you weren't a plantation slave. Pfft. Yeah, you are. Yeah, you are. You don't work, you don't eat. So let me get out there and work so I can get me some slop at the end, some corn in my cup. Ugh. That's what Israelites been saying. For corn and wine, we'll go back to Egypt. Yeah, you work all day. They give you a little bit of corn, a little bit of wine. What did the Romans say? Give them bread and circuses and shit. Get a little clown to dance in front of these niggas and get these niggas a hot and ready today. That'll do it. That'll make them forget all their woes. That'll make them forget about all of the tragedy we're suffering right now as this world that we're in falling. Because Rome fell, and I bet when it was at its peak, no one thought that would happen either. But it did. Rome wasn't built in a day, but it sure was destroyed in one. And so shall America be, that great city that sits upon many waters. It's going to do the same thing. You see that, little flock? Because it's judging wrong. And when you judge wrong, you die. I can touch that. It won't electrocute me. You're judging wrong. That's all that means. So you didn't touch the wire of fuck, damn, or bitch your whole life, and you still didn't go to heaven. Stupid if you ask me. Because you still were saying, I'm dumb, I'm stupid, I'm evil, I'm hateful. Fuck that. I can't forgive. I'm not forgiving. Shit. I'm the shit. I'm better than everybody else. See how you're taking the Lord's name in lies? See how you're taking his name in lies? So in order to take his name in truth, don't you have to know his attributes? See what I mean about how it says, Christ says, I know him. If I say I don't, then I make myself a liar like you. So who was Yahushua talking to when he said that? A group of liars. A group of liars. Lies only work on men occasionally, but they never work on God. So then why do it? Because you've deceived yourself. You judge wrong. You put evil for light and call good evil and evil good. See? See? So if you know that, then it seems like you should be translated into the truth now out of that lie, unless you love that world, which many do, which I don't see why. Because you live in a nice house for the time being, that's enough for you to sell your soul? What will a man give in exchange? You want it so bad that you're willing to do anything? And to think that this doesn't happen for every man, this test of the two worlds. Because when you're in the old world, you don't want to live at it. Let's make this very clear. The old world of Esau is a terrible place to live unless you're at the top. Everybody else's life is miserable unless you're at the top of that pyramid. It's not a plane. See what I told you guys? It's not flat and equal. It's a pyramid. Haves and have-nots. There's people at the top and people at the bottom of this world. So it's only pleasurable if you're at the very top. So then if you love it, then you love a miserable existence. You love being given peanuts for your services. You love being deceived and lied to. You love being tricked. You love being pacified with bread in a cloud on Sunday going ding, 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 blowing a fucking balloon up and shit, turning it into a dog in front of you. You love that so much that you say, please don't let it ever stop. Please don't ever let it stop. I love it so much. While you're sick, you're dying, you're decaying, you're corrupting every day in it. Because it's not life and peace. There is no peace in that life. There is no peace in that world. There's only peace in the truth of the name of I am. That world does not afford you the truth of I am. It causes you to have to sell it. Ask any artist. The dude was a music artist. He dressed this way. He rapped this way. He talked this way and thought this way. But once he got a record deal, they said, you can't think all that radical shit anymore. Neither can you dress like this. We need you to start to put on that name brand because that's what's trending and hot right now. We need you to put that on, that on, that on, and that on, and talk like this and act like this now. You're a new person. So then your existence has been tampered with by an outside source. Isn't that true? So then you took his name in vain. You guys can't deny that what I'm telling you is true in this message. All of what I've said is completely and 100% true, unadulteratedly. So then why fight against it? Why kick against the pricks when I'm giving you truth and grace here? Because that's what Yahushua came filled with. So now I've told you the truth of the old world, and I'm telling you the truth of the new. Now, can you decide today? Which one do you think is better? Do you hear the old? Why return to the old world now that you heard that it's artificial and fake? It's phony. It's only held apart. It's only held together by a false outward veneer. If what I'm saying is not true, do people put veneers on their teeth? Why are they called veneer? Veneer means to overlay. What's under the veneer? A shaved down little chiclet. That's what's there. A shaved down little nub with a veneer put on top because the veneer is to look perfect. And so when men see it, they really believe that's your damn teeth. And it's been going for so long that even when people know they're not real, they still respect you for the veneers as if they are your real teeth. Wow, you have a beautiful smile. Thanks, I got it done by the surgeon John Pacal Pierre. Oh, really? Should I go there? Yeah, he says just a cool $50,000. People are starving. People are dying. You're saying you're broke. I just spent $50,000 on these, but it was well worth it because every time I go anywhere, people say, what a great smile you got. Isn't it awesome? That's called vainglory. Vain means temporary. That's what Solomon said everything is under the sun, the old world. People try to make out Solomon as if he was some evil person. No, what Solomon was doing was experiencing every experience a man could, whether it was good or bad or foolish. He even said that. I became a fool for wisdom's sake. In other words, so that I could experience and know, so that I could preach, so that I could tell the people. How could a man know it was vanity to stack up 1,000 wives? Because that's what men dream of. That's what they dream of. But how could you know it was vanity unless a man who actually experienced it told you? So then you roast him for having the 1,000 wives, even though secretly in your heart you wanted it for yourself too. And you wouldn't turn it down if Abba offered it to you. So here's 1,000 beautiful women, the most beautiful 1,000 women on the earth. Here you go. You're going to go, no, thanks, God. I don't want that. No, you're not. You're going to take it happily. I'm talking about the old world, that is. See? He said it was vanity. He said, I built orchards. I bought land. Look at all these men today. Yes, I have some land here. I've built some orchards. Haven't I done a great thing? You've done a vain thing. Solomon already told you that. Did you listen to him? Well, he's only talking to the called out ones, like I told you. The one that was 2 at the mill, 1 was taken. He's only talking to the one that's taken. That's what Ecclesiastes means. That's where it says all is vanity. It's in Ecclesiastes. Why is it in Ecclesiastes? I just told you. Ecclesiastes means called out. So then the old world thinks that there are things that are valuable in it. The new world knows that there's nothing in the old that's valuable. So throw it in the trash. It's just like when you're eating a bag of Doritos You got a bag of Doritos, right? And you're eating them. As long as there are some Doritos in the bag, you think it's valuable. Even if there's just a little sandy remnants down in the corner there that you tilt the bag, and you get the last little seed, the Cooler Ranch Doritos and shit. Breath be stanking and shit for 2 hours after that shit. But as long as there's any remnants of any chips in that bag, the bag is valuable to you. Hey, no, throw that away, man. I got a few chips in there. See, that's this world. Don't throw it away. It's still got a few chips left in it. They're going to run out. And when it runs out, you're going to throw it away anyway. But I haven't run out yet. That's how people are doing with the world. The wise called out ones, they're already out. See? So when I want to come out here amongst trees and in some sunlight and relax, I do. Because that's what a free man do. I don't have anybody telling me I can't. A job tells you that you can't. A slave master standing over you while you're picking cotton tells you that you can't do what you want to do. But when you're free, you can. See that there? See that there? There's no lies in it. I could talk that all day and still be in some building somewhere, but I'm not. I'm always outside when I'm doing a video. Aren't I? See what I mean? Because I can always go, whether it's morning, noon, or night. Because he said my feet were shod with the preparation of the gospel. I'm always prepared to share what gospel means, good news. The good news. I'm always ready to do it. It's just whether the person I'm talking to is faithful or not. Faithlessness cannot receive anything of the kingdom. It can't. You can't please God if you're faithless. But if a faithful person steps forward and says, wait a minute, you're telling me that from now on in my life, when I find myself in distress of any sort, if I feel my adrenaline kick up, if I feel my worry or fear kick up about something, take the Father's name in truth. That's all I have to do? That's what you're telling me? Yes, that's all you have to do. And once you do that, stand still and watch the salvation of the Lord. Stand still and watch it work. So wait a second here. You're telling me if I am broke and have no money to pay this thing, then I should take the Father's name as if I have already paid it. Yes. So then how would you do that? I'm so excited that that bill is paid, man. Damn, I'm finally free from that debt. There you go. See how you even cussed when you did it, but you're still going to get blessed because you didn't cuss. Because if you were doing that, this is what cussing is. Oh, Abba, I really would like to get that bill paid, but I'm so broke. I'm in such a hopeless situation that I'll never get it done. So if by some miracle, Father, bless me, please. That's cursing. Taking the Father's name all in vain while you say you're praying to him. That's why he said, I don't know you. How could you say you know me, but you're taking my name in vain? The people who know me don't do that. They cannot sin, for his seed remaineth in them. The seed is the name, because that name remaineth in you. What does he seal your forehead with? What did the holy priest of the Levitical priesthood have upon their foreheads? Holy unto I am, because that's the name Moses brought to Israel. So you think he put some other name on their foreheads? I say thee nay. The Father will seal you with his name. Read Revelation. You can't hurt them. How come? Because they claim his name, and that delivers them from the hurt that they're facing. How come you can't see that? How come you can't see it? Isn't it clear to see and easy to see? I mean, isn't it? It delivers you from the hurt you're facing. Oh, this person's trying to convince me that I'm lonely or that I'm codependent. I am independent. I am content in all circumstances. I am comforted. I am safe. Hey, man, it's a fire over there, man. Everybody's dying. I am protected. That's why those things can't hurt him. See what I'm saying? Terrors hurt people who judge by the flesh and judge outward appearance because they believe it's real. Oh my God, look at it. It's going to just kill us all. I'm safe. I am protected. Now I'm going to stand still and watch Abba deliver, just like Moses did. Okay. Huh. Whoa. Let's go, guys. Yep, let's walk across. Let's walk across. Dry shod. We can always go through a disturbing circumstance untouched. It doesn't matter if it's water or fire. Did you read about Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego? They were put into a furnace and they were not touched by it, nor were their hair singed or their clothes. Didn't even smell like smoke. They were untouched by it at all. That's what happens when you take the Father's name in truth. You are untouched by the outside circumstance because you're taking the inside circumstance in its truth. No longer being in idol worship and fear and afraid of what's going on around it. Yahushua never taught you to do that. So when you do it, you know it didn't come from him. He never taught you to do it. So then all of you people who say you're Christians, are you stressing? Then you didn't cast your burdens upon him. How do you cast it upon him? Change the name. How you using it? Okay, I'm stressing over this. I'm scared. I'm this. And you think you're talking about your personal existence. See, your personal circumstance you're in. Okay, give that to him and then take his name. Take his yoke upon you. Okay, I'm giving him my yoke, which is I'm scared. I'm afraid. I'm all the blasphemy, all the sins. I'm casting them upon Christ now. Do you understand what it means now, little flock? To cast your burdens upon him? That he took our iniquities upon himself? That he took on our sin? Now he gives you his yoke. I'm safe. And by faith, you take it. I am safe. Wow, I am. See, there you go. Now, are you going to do anything else from now on, or are you just going to keep doing that? Because if you were wise, I'd tell you what I'd do. If you were wise, you should just keep doing that. The desire I want, how do I add the desire to his name? Because remember, he said, I am that. That is the desire you have. So put that, what you want there. That's what he's saying. Put the true desire you want. Okay, I don't want to be scared. Who does? I don't want to be terrified. Who does? So then let me substitute the that I'm putting after I am for the truth. That's what I mean about blessing his name today. Now, if that's blessing his name, then it has been made plain and obvious what cursing his name is and what cursing is. It is taking the name of you or another in vanity. Is it loving to say, you're going to die because I don't like you? Somebody personally did something to you, and now you point your finger and put an X on them or a curse on them and say, you're going to die. See, he didn't have to say fucking or motherfucker or nothing. What he said was worse than all that, if you ask me. Y'all don't think so? Interesting how y'all think sometimes, then. So, if you were wise, you'd bless the name of the Father so that you could receive the blessing of doing so and no longer be under the curse, which has held the Israelites for a very long time now. Shalom, Mr. Allah.